Today we're taking a look at the Pocket Monsters card game starter pack. Now, you can tell already that it's got very nostalgic artwork on it, I guess. Especially if you'd played the Japanese game, you'd notice that the artwork looks a lot like the old card backs used to. You know, besides this whole 20th anniversary logo here. But yeah, this is released in Japan for the 20th anniversary as a bit of a throwback to the old trading card game as it was. You might have seen these online a few months back when there were rumors that they were going to be reprinting the original base set. Now, those rumors turned out not to be true, but a lot of the cards in this pack are original 151 Pokemon, and that's kind of where the rumor came from. So I don't know if there's actually any reprints of older cards, but there are a lot of, as you can tell, there's obviously EX cards and Mega Evolution cards. I think there's a few other things you can expect to see in here, but I'm not entirely convinced. I mean, it is showing an old base set Tauros. So, well, I think actually we got it in Jungle, but I think it may have been base for them. We'll see, I suppose. So yeah, like you'll see, like it's got the new card backs on it, so none of the old card backs by the looks of it. It's got the Chansey coin, which you might remember from the base, the theme deck, sorry, of that we got in the UK and the US, and I would assume most places outside of Japan. Yeah, there's a lot of mention on here about XY Break, so I guess a lot of cards from this set are actually from the Break series of cards, which is currently the series of boosters that is being published at the moment. So what have we got? So here it says random deck of cards 60, really? I mean, that's what that says. It seems a bit strange, though, that you would get a random set of cards. Interesting. So we'll see how that goes. What's that? Damikan. So it's a mishmash of two words. So I'm assuming that means damage counters. Maka. Not sure what that means. So yeah, it seems to be like quite a few little things in here. There's the Pokemon coin. I'm not entirely sure what this is. We'll see. Whatever. Let's open it up and let's have a look. So yeah, this isn't... I picked this one up when I was in Japan last. I've actually got two of them, so that's why I don't feel too bad about opening it up. Yeah, there's not much on the sides. It's just all typical copyright information and all that nonsense. Don't eat, I guess. I don't really know what all this stuff is. Anyway, let's have a look at the actual cards. So this came out. So there you go. There's the Chansey coin. We'll have another look at that in a minute. There's a pack of cards in here which just pops out. So this is kind of a bit flimsy. Let's pop the coin out. Let's put that over there. So here's the Chansey coin. Not entirely convinced it's going to focus on that, so we'll just have to do it from over here. But yeah, it's if you remember playing the original base set, like how long ago would that have been? We're talking like 10 to 15 years, right, for the card game. You would recognize this. The coin is basically the same except for the fact that it's printed on solid plastic coin. Back in the day, they were printed on very flimsy plastic, like you could bend the coin. You can't do that with this. Or at least you could probably snap it, but you wouldn't be able to bend it. But that's a nice little throwback. It's the same size and the same kind of design you'd expect to see with the coins that you can get from card packs nowadays. So that's a nice little thing. Let's have a look at this. This was in the back of the of this, by the way, so it kind of sat at the back and fell out. So here you've got a bunch of damage counters, as well as a poison marker, and I guess that's like paralysis, maybe? I don't actually play the card game anymore, so I have no idea. These all say damage, so that's what they are. Nothing too surprising there. Let's open this up. So yeah, here's all your damage counters. Interesting. I'm not sure why they've done that, but I guess that's nice enough that they're coloured twice. I'm not sure why you would want to flip them one way or the other. Maybe it's so you can differentiate between yours and your opponent's, perhaps, if it gets a bit crazy, depending on where you're playing. But yeah, so I think you get these anyway with a lot of the sets that you would buy. As long as you're paying a little bit more, obviously not going to come with your typical boosters. And what I would assume these are just a basic how to play. So there's a breakdown, like card anatomy stuff, basically. So telling you what everything is. So yeah, this is obviously a recent reprint because it's got the X and Y Pokemon in there. But yeah, by the looks of things, oh there you go, that's how recent it is because it's got the break cards in it. So it'll be interesting to see if we've got any of these in this set of cards, but we'll see. Who knows if it's all random. Yeah, this is just a how to play. It's quite nicely done, it's printed pretty well, the colours are nice. No use to me really because I can't read half of it, but I mean if you know what the rules are anyway, then you're not going to really pay much attention to that anyway. So let's have a look at the cards that come in this set. I say set, it's not really a set, is it? So on the back of the box, not a great deal to be honest, I'm not sure what that says. Pretty sure this is saying actually that you, this is a 2-player game, or at least I'm pretty sure what this is, that's what this says. Which actually would make some sense as these are split up into 2 decks, so perhaps this isn't as random as I was led to believe. There we go, these are just stuck on. It's just some sellotape. So they're in 2 individual packs. One has Mega Venusaur on it. You'll see as well it says Bloom Buster written on the front of it. You might already know this, but the name of the attack, Bloom Buster, it's the name of the attack on the card. But in the Japanese prints of these, they have the attack name written in English on the front. If you get an English version of this card, it will be written here in katakana. So it's a nice little swap that they do. It's quite nice. Gives you a reason to collect both cards if you're that crazy. The other one's a Hollow Machamp. Nothing too crazy. Looks nice enough though. Set symbol as well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, so good luck I guess. But the set symbol says 20th, so that's a good way to denote that these will come from the same set. So let's have a look at these. I'm going to cut them open. I've brought scissors with me. I had a feeling I'd probably need them. So let's take those off. Let's see what we got. So, well these have warped just a little bit. You can kind of see that there's a bit of a bend on them, and these have been sat inside a box for a few months, so nothing you wouldn't be able to rectify by flattening them out a little bit, but you know, word of warning I guess in case you order some. So there's the Mega Venusaur EX. I'm not sure how many, the last time I checked there was only the one Mega Venusaur, but I might be wrong. I'm not like super hot on the card game, so they might have re-released them or have versions of different attacks. Looks nice enough though. Very shiny. It's not the craziest foil pattern I've seen from the Japanese cards. The Japanese ones typically have some real strange and crazy foil patterns. Like they tend to spend a lot more money on their cards, it seems, than the ones you get in the West. But yeah, nice enough. So anyway, there's Mega Venusaur. Here's regular Venusaur EX. And there's 2 of them, so I'm going to assume that means that these are actually playable decks. So I'm not sure what the random part is. I'll have to reread the back of the box and see if I can figure that out. But so yeah, there's 2 Venusaur EXs. You'd have 2 of them if you're playing a deck like this, more likely, so that you can use your Mega Venusaur. Here's a Paris. Nothing too crazy. Even called Paris in Japanese, that's nice. Parasect. It's got a bit of a lava lamp thing going on. Tangela. Interesting to see actually that all the cards so far, besides Venusaur, have the same names as the English counterparts. And as I say that, I realize that this one totally doesn't. I just looked at the last letter and assumed it was the same. Monjara is Tangler in Japanese, which is a bit of a weird one, but probably means something to Japanese folks, I suppose. But yeah, Paris and Parasect were the same. And Venusaur is Fushigi Dane. So I think I should reread that. I'm reading it wrong. Wait, hang on. Fushigi Bana. Sorry. I'm like trying to remember a lot of this like from memory rather than actually reading them, which is just making all sorts of a mess. What we got here? Pokemon Ireka. I have no idea what that is. I think that's Switch though. Looks like Switch. Scoop Up, I think, is what this is, but I might be wrong. I'm not reading it. I was just trying to. Oh, Pokemon Catcher. Okay, fair enough. Which might do the same as a Scoop Up, is why I mentioned it. Anyway, Pokemon Catcher, Pokeball, easy enough. What's her name in English? I forget what her name is. But yeah, what's her face from X and Y? Doesn't do a whole lot. Tiana. Why can I not remember her name, but I can remember Tiana's name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Sycamore, I think, is this professor. Also from X and Y. Double colorless energies and some grass energies. So yeah, this is very much a typical starter deck. This is what you would use if you were gonna learn how to play Pokemon for the first time. So it's like some very basic energies, energy cards, some trainer cards, and enough to kind of figure out like how does stuff evolve, how do things work, and how nice looking the megas are, so that you go buy more boosters and spend more money on Pokemon cards. So let's have another look. Let's have a look at the other pack. It'll be interesting to see actually what they do with regards to weaknesses and resistances, because I feel like that's the number one turn-off whenever I was going to try and play Pokemon with my brothers. It would always be a case of we would always try and pick two decks that were not super effective or resistant to each other, because when you don't have your own like full sets of cards and can make your own decks, it was always a bit of a unfair advantage. So I don't know how this will work, but we'll have a look at the end. So there's the Machamp. Nothing too crazy, like I said. I'm pretty sure this is an old card. I want to say I got a Machamp that looked like this on my Japan trip before this one, so a couple of years ago. Again, might be wrong. I'm not exactly on top of the Pokemon card game, but there's that. So we got two Machops, one Riki, apparently. Quite nice looking Machops, actually. The artwork is very, like, you can see that they've been, like, sketched in a sketch pad or something. It's quite nice, a bit better than the one you remember from the base set. Machoke, or Goriki, just kind of chilling underneath a waterfall. Hitmonlee, or Sawamura. Yeah, Sawamura. Trying to work out what he's fighting. That might be a Machoke. You can see his belt there. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, Hitmonlee. Is that it? Don't tell me that's it. Okay, right. Weird. So this is a bit confusing because obviously the other set was very much monocolored. It was grass only and some double colorless. So these were a few fighting types, sorry, and a bunch of fighting energy, but now we've got some fairy types. So I'm not entirely sure where we're going with this, but we'll see. There's Clefairy, or Pippi, or Pippi, I guess. You've got to hold the P. Hold the P. Pikushi, whatever. Oh, Pixie, right. Obviously, right. Pixie, fair enough. Clefable. Nice artwork, actually. I must say, I do quite like the colors on the fairy cards. Like, it's not just. I mean, I guess they're not. None of them are like monocolored, but it's quite a nice, like, pink, purpley color going on. Mr. Mime, relegated to wiping windows, apparently. Barriador. I guess the barrier part comes from, barrier, but yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Nice art though. As nice as you can get anyway without Mr. Mime looking like a complete creeper. Bunch of fairy energy cards. And we got some colorless now. So this seems like a bigger deck than the other one. I wonder if you are into fight with them. So yeah, there's Meowth, or Nyasu. Looking like he's wound up in a desert when you don't really want to be there. Especially if you're a cat. Persian. Persian. So yeah, just Persian. So now this is interesting, because this is the Tauros card that we got in the Jungle expansion. So maybe they did reprint some, but this might just be because it's the 20th. I don't know if it actually ended up in any boosters or anything like that. But from what I can tell, it's the same card. I'm not sure about the attacks, because I don't really remember from that far back, to be completely honest with you, but the artwork's definitely the same. I saw this one poking behind. That's the Imanuki card. Imakuni, what am I saying? Not Imanuki. Imakuni card. So he's what's the best way to explain this? He's a children's entertainer, basically, like comedian, children's entertainer. He appears a lot on the Pokemon TV shows that they have in Japan. You might recognize this card if you ever played the Game Boy, I think it's regular Game Boy / Game Boy Color game, the Pokemon trading card game, because Imakuni was in that game. And was infamous for giving you a lot of booster packs and being very easy to beat, because this card confuses your own Pokemon, not the opponent's. So literally this card is completely detrimental. Like, you wouldn't ever want to use it, but you know, it's a funny little card. And yeah, that's a real guy's face on here. He's got a few other cards as well, but you probably won't see him in this set. What's this? Pokemon Daisuki Krabu. So yeah, I guess this is, I would assume that it would be localized as Pokemon Fan Club or something like that. It basically means Pokemon Love Club, but, you know, Appreciation Club, I suppose, is a better translation of that. Saying that, though, there's only actually, I don't know if there's any Pokemon in this. Like, that is a Floette, isn't it? That's not a Flabébé. These all look like dolls, and obviously that's a kid in a costume, so I don't think there's actually any living Pokemon on there, unless that is a Pokemon, but okay, sure, whatever. Letter to Hogwarts, I guess. I'm not actually sure what this is. But yeah, you'll probably recognize it if you've been playing the game. There's an Ultra Ball, or Hyper Ball as it is in Japanese. Potion. Referee. What's that? Shashim. I have no idea. Judge. Wait, Judgeman. Judgeman? What? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, don't know. Banhammer. Crash Hammer, I think that says. Weird. Or Crush? I guess that could be Crush. Yeah. And that's Max Revive, isn't it? I know that just from the picture. So yeah, that's a weird little selection of cards. Have a look at the back of the box again, because yeah, random deck, 60 cards. I mean, I guess that makes sense actually, because obviously we got the Venusaurs and it shows Mega Charizard X on that, so yeah, and we didn't get Gengar or Pikachu or anything like that, so I guess that means that there is some kind of element of randomness. I wonder how many variations there are though. And this, by the looks of it, says, you know, let's see what it says. Secret card, something. I guess this is basically you can get a secret card, and by the looks of it, it's a full art Zapdos. That's kind of what it looks like. It's definitely an electric type, and yeah, it definitely looks like Zapdos. So yeah, interesting. I didn't realize that there were differences. So yeah, it's quite a nice little thing as well, and it didn't cost a lot, if I remember right. I think it was less than 2,000 yen, so we were talking about like around the £10 mark, not very expensive at all. Assuming you bought it over there anyway, I imagine. If you're going to import it, it's probably going to cost a lot of money. But yeah, quite a nice little thing. I did actually buy a second one of these, and I wasn't going to open it, but I'm tempted now. I'm curious to see what the differences are, or if there's any noticeable differences. So I'm going to jump cut and we'll have a look. So yeah, here's my second one, just to show you. Here's the one from earlier. Nothing different about the apparent look of it. So the only thing I've done is like cut open the sellotape at the top. So let's open this up. I can't imagine anything will be different except possibly what cards we've got. Yep, Chansey coins in there. The rules are in there. Nothing apparently different so far. Anyway, let me dump all of that over there. So here are the cards, and we'll see what we've got. Okay, so first of all, we can see we've got the Mega Charizard X. Mega Charizard X EX, I guess. And Machamp is on the other one as well. So I guess, besides, I mean, we should just open them up and find out, huh? Ooh, right, so let's have a look at the Charizard pack first. We'll see what we've got in there. I was gonna say, like, I was gonna suggest not opening the Machamp pack just in case, like, it's the same cards, but I've opened one of them already, and I want to see if we get that Zapdos, if that's exactly what that is. So let's have a look. Right, so there's Mega Charizard X. Heat Typhoon. It's quite a nice looking card. Again, the foil effect's not quite as good as some of their cards are, but it's nice enough. Regular old Charizard EX. Now, the foil treatment's the same on this one, but I think the way the foil's acting and the 3D Charizard in it is actually doing quite a lot for it. It looks quite nice. Anyway, so yeah, Charizard. Ponyta. Japanese name is Ponyta, so nice enough. Quite a nice looking Rapidash. Yeah, so apparently Japanese Rapidash's name is Gallop, so sure, why not? Magma, or Booba, welcome to the Booba zone. Yeah, I always thought Magma looked a bit silly, it always looked like sort of testicles on his head, but whatever. I'm pretty sure actually Magmorta's name is Booban, so they just add an N on the end. So no more switches, or at least I assume they're switches, Pokemon catchers, Pokeballs, blah 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 blah. Everything seems the same except they've swapped out at the end the grass energies for fire energies. So yeah, so not too much difference, I suppose. Like really, we just kind of swapped out the first, is that 7 cards? Which is kind of a shame, really, thinking about it, because what would be good, I think, if you wanted to get more people into playing Pokemon, is to have one set with the Charizard and one set with the Venusaur. Obviously, that introduces problems with weakness and resistance, like I mentioned earlier. But those are kind of like signature cards, really. They look real cool. That's the kind of thing I want to, like, if I was playing with these cards for my friends for the first time, I want to be using the one with the Charizard or the Venusaur on it, not like Machamp. So we'll see. Let's have a quick flick through these to see. Oh, you might have seen it on the edge there. So we have got the Zapdos by the looks of it, but we'll get there. Which is nice, actually. I only bought these 2. So yeah, so Machamp, Machoke, Hitmonlee, that's all the same. And then we get to the full art Zapdos, which is really nice. Look at that. This is what I mean by the shiny effects that you can get on these. This is a very nice foil print with kind of a circular motion. The thing with these full art cards as well is that they are actually raised a little bit. Like you can tell the difference between like some of these lines and the text. I think it's a bit more pronounced actually on the English cards, believe it or not, which is a strange thing. But yeah, you can kind of see it as well. All of the light beams are kind of coming from up here where the light source is. Let's see if I can try and catch it on the light. You can kind of see it there, but that's a real nice card. And with it being 20th anniversary, I do wonder how common these are. So yeah, I'll have to see what the odds are for actually getting these, but yeah, that's a real nice card. It also means that we've got different cards behind this. If you remember, we had Fairy on the last one. So we've got some Pikachus, Raichu, and a bunch of electric energy. And okay, interesting. So, yeah, the electric types were different. Obviously, they were a replacement for the fairy type. But we do have more colorless, and they're different colorless. So that's nice. So there's Doduo, or Dodo, or Dodo, I guess. Very happy Doduo, or at least one of them's very happy. The other one's a bit eyeing up the camera, a bit confused as to what's going on. Dodrio, which is just Dodrio. Not much to say here, really. It's a Dodrio. Snorlax, or Cabigon. It's nice enough. It's a bit simple, I suppose, but so it's a Snorlax. There's not much you can really do about it other than do the crazy thing that X and Y did and have it stand up. Crazy. Red card. That's not just a description. They just called red card. Not sure what it does though. Couldn't tell you what any of this stuff says. What's his name? The name escapes me. I'm sure it begins with an L or something. I want to say Lysandra, but that might be someone completely different. I cannot remember this guy, but he was in X and Y. Anyway, who cares? Fishing rod? Yeah. Rare candy? Soda pop? More hyperballs, and the referee, and Energy. Sure, I have no idea. By the looks of it, it might be a card that lets you swap energy between Pokemon. But who knows? So yeah, that was the Pokemon 20th anniversary card set. Interestingly though, I do wonder if this is like how they're trying to sell this, or if it's just a remnant of how they released this originally. But it does say, you know, Pocket Monsters card game starter pack. So it is kind of a starter pack, I suppose, but I have a feeling that the original starter packs might have been a bit more balanced, I guess. Like, because like I said, it's kind of a shame that one of the people playing this will want to use the EX cards because they look a lot cooler. There's way more to do with those packs, and the other cards kind of just seem to be more of a kind of switch out. So maybe you're meant to buy one of these each, and then play them, and then maybe customize your decks afterwards with the rest of the cards, or combine them. Maybe that kind of sounds about right. But yeah, so that's kind of nice enough. And I suppose they are, to be fair, they are cheap enough for you to be able to do that if you were buying them in Japan. Yeah, so that was kind of a nice little look back, I guess. Like, I must admit, I would prefer if there were more of the original artworks, because a lot of the original artwork is either really good or completely god-awful, and I mean that in the best terms as well. Like, even the ones that are god-awful are great fun to look at still. But yeah, so this is like I said, it's about £10. I think it was under 2,000 yen. I don't know if it's got a price written on the side of it. I don't see one, and I can't completely tell you how much it was when I bought it, because I cannot remember that far back. So yeah, I reckon you could probably pick it up, let's say £20 with, you know, with import fees, and that doesn't seem completely unreasonable. So if you can find it for around that price, then might be worth picking it up. But I think really it's more of a nostalgia thing. Like, you're not going to get much use out of these cards anyway because they're all in Japanese. So if you would legitimately want to learn to play, you'd be better off buying one of the English language products. But if you just want a kind of a bit of a blast of the past, I suppose, then maybe this is something worth buying. It's quite a nice little product as well, but you know, not going to do much for you if you want to learn how to play Pokemon.